On day of the Cape Town leg of the World Rugby HSBC Sevens Series, Fiji against France in Pool C. That's how they line up. Kalione Nasoko, 4 tries for him in the first event in Dubai last week, captains Fiji. And Terry Buraua, the French captain, will start this game on the bench. Aminoni Nasilasila not available for Fiji until the final round of matches in this tournament, given the 6-match suspension that he received coming out of the Dubai tournament. So Fiji finishing 5th in Dubai. They closed out South Africa in the 5th-6th playoff in Dubai.
France, of course, were involved in the Challenge Cup final, where they came out not as well as they would have liked to against Samoa. But of course, these two teams met in the same pool in Dubai. And it was France on that occasion who got absolutely hammered by the Fijians, 41 points to 0.
Rasta Rashavenga in his final Sevens tournament on the HSBC Sevens World Series. He is going to be concentrating on the 15-man game going forward. So probably an emotional weekend ahead for him.
Well, he's such a happy-go-lucky character. He'll be thoroughly enjoying the experience nonetheless, particularly here in beautiful city of Cape Town.
Fatemo Ravuvu kicks off for Fiji, and as we've come to expect from the Fijians, a wonderful kick chase. So effective on the restart, getting their tall men up there to tap it back on their side. Botitu with the carry. Nasoko, the captain. Referee Rasavenga almost running an obstructive line there. Time on the ball for Nathungu.
Clear release, please.
And no release from France. Penalty awarded and quickly taken. Nathungu.
Yeah, advantage. Over.
Mothenathangi making good headway through the middle. The offload is good as well for Botitu. And Fiji just showing their trademark patience on the ball, using the full width of the field here. Tuimamba brought down just over France's 10-meter line, making steady progress upfield, and then strong work by the captain Nasoko. And they continue to build through the phases here, Fiji, just not allowing French hands anywhere near the ball. Botitu back towards the short side. Mothenathangi. And now France have a turnover and have got a couple of extra men here. First opportunity for them to play. Laujal. Jonathan Laujal with 4 tries in the Dubai tournament, France's top scorer in the first round of the series. Pauline Riva, and a beautiful offload off the deck. Support needed. And arrives just in time. Offload from Hiya, finding its mark, and now France with the penalty. Fiji quick to retreat on defense. Tuimamba can't stop his man. Another handoff from Barak. Laugel. And Barak in to make the clean, but he was too late on it. Turnover penalty 1.
Oh, fast and furious. Fiji, depending on their size and their strength, getting outsmarted a little bit by the French, who obviously learned from last week. And away they go again. Space on the outside not utilised. Up the middle go the big fellas.
Mothenathangi brought down, just not overcommitting at the ruck time. They have so much power over the ball, do Fiji. That go forward. No, back, says referee Rashavenga. So energy sapping period of play, and finally the gaps open up for Fiji, and they will get the first try through Awaisia Nathungu. plenty of time to get in under the post as well to make the conversion attempt that much easier.
Yeah, good pace, really good pace from good patient build-up, side to side, using the width of the field. Eventually the big fellas with the pace, just exposing that French defence that hung on gallantly for 4 or 5 minutes. Mind you, they had a chance to go and score on the other side, couldn't quite capitalise. One thing, and we saw it in Dubai last week as well, a little bit of cutting up of the field, quite a few players slipping, losing their footing. It makes defending even more difficult than it makes attack play. And the French maybe just caught a little bit by 1 or 2 slips there. They've been resolute and gallant to that point. As Fiji with a couple of long passes into that midfield, and then the pace of that fella. Wasia Nathuku, good strong finish. The conversion's good, and Fiji are off to a good start.
Yeah.
Change in direction from Ravuvu with the restart that time. Good work in the air by Samuel Alert. The attempted offload from Barak, going backwards off a Fijian hand, and there's more space for them here. Tuimamba, just his second tournament on the series, and quick to respond to the offload, being knocked backwards by one of his teammates, and plenty of space for him to exploit.
Yeah, it was well received. Another brilliant kickoff from Fiji, well received by France. Just not able to get that offload away, and Fiji quick to capitalise. And when there's space on the outside, the acceleration just too much for that French defence. Try number 2, Tuimamba is in. The conversion is good as well. Such a difficult thing to defend against big players who have this type of pace, and in particular the acceleration. Look at that. Down goes the pedal, and through the gap he is.
Such accuracy on the restart from Ravuvu, and that's an unforced error from the man who made the kickoff. Once again, perfectly contestable restart. All 3 of them kicked by Ravuvu.
Yeah, and the one to the right-hand side was as good as it was. France won it back, so Fiji back down the middle this time. Won it back, and then just as Ravuvu was trying to pick it up, knocked it on. Just maybe a little look up to see where the defence is coming from.
Feed it to the
Absolutely
side. Square,
perfect
please,
to win that, Fiji.
Catch.
Chance for France here on the
Mind.
brink of half-time, 40-odd seconds or so. They'll want to get on the scoreboard now.
Testament to the handling skills of both sides in the first half of this game. That was the first set piece, either scrum or line-out that we've had. It's a fierce contest over the ball from Fiji, just slowing it up a fraction for France, and an excellent spot tackle made as well by Vilimoni Boititu. Had an important defensive decision to make there. There was a man away to the left. France eager to get things going quickly. Huya with the quickly taken line out. Tackle formed. Fiji must release. Through the hands it goes of Barak and Aller. Half-time hooter sounds. Another defensive decision made by Fiji from Mothenathangi that time, coming to the inside but missed his man. So an opportunity here for France to close out the first half. Unfortunate slip for Jean-Pascal Barak, but the recycle is quick. Aller. They haven't had much time on the ball of France, but when they have, they've shown some good skill. And Steven Perez
Play on. Play on.
brought down in the shadow of Fiji's post, who now have the turnover. And trying to dance their way out of a defensive situation. 3 away to the left on 2 French defenders, so not surprisingly the cutout ball. And getting away from his man, the chase has been given up as well. So Aminasi Tuimamba will stroll in for his second try of the game and put Fiji comfortably in front at the half-time break.
Yeah, on this one against the run of play somewhat. France in a real good attacking position, not able to hang on to the ball after some real good build-up from the French team. And unfortunately for them, though, it's Fiji who have come away and will lead by probably 21 points to 0 here at half-time. It's amazing how quickly this game changes. France have by no means been out of it, but on the scoreboard, it's a terrible situation.
Well, this showed a great deal of promise in that build-up, did France, but once Tuimamba had got away from his man, the chase was all in vain. Not surprising that referee Rashavenga is up there with the try scorer.
Yeah, one of the fitter refs on the circuit, we believe. Mind you, Fijians were walking to score the try. French defenders had given up on the brink of half-time. There was a moment I thought Fiji were just going to kick it out and accept a 14 points to 0 lead at half-time, but not to be. 21 points to 0 it is.
With fatigue is what? Every time we've had the ball, we've worked hard behind each other. The communication which must have come in from there was spot on. We've got to have that in the place as well. Okay, it's a good tackle, see? They've been scrambled. So let's not get that. Let's get the ball up, right on our feet. Moving forward all the time. We're clear. Next job, they're kicked off to us. We control the pill like we said we were going to do. There we go.
Fiji very much in control of match 3 against France. They've denied France any meaningful amount of possession, but also, Joel, have been outstanding with the kickoffs and managing to win possession back twice from those.
Well, I think in that first game we had one scrum, or the first half I should say, we had one scrum and one quickly taken line-out ball. The kickoff was by far the most exercised form of set play, and Fiji were outstanding.
So second half underway. Stephen Perez.
Knocked him.
Just an indication of the stark contrast. 3 contestable kickoffs by Fiji, 2 of which they were able to win back in the first half. Now France's first opportunity, an unforced error. So Fiji just organising themselves. Mothena Thangi into contact. A little broken play, a wonderful handoff from Ravuvu. Couldn't shake off the attentions of Perez, but it is going to be another try. Motitu.
In only his second tournament, what a pickup that was. Brilliant show of skill. Players slipping again, and testament to the fact that we had some rain here in Cape Town on Friday, and some much needed rain, and the field's still a little bit damp. Great pickup from Motitu. Just showing the experience of this Fijian squad, the ability to know when to play the speed game, when to play the strength game, the power game, and up the middle went Thangi, and then show, like, comes the little flip pass, and look at this for a fine piece of handling skills. One-handed, juggles it up, and in he goes.
Nisi Huya really buying the dummy, which set up that try. Fiji's restart again, just over that 10-meter line, and they are able to regather possession. Derada Langi in just his second tournament, now on in jersey number 6 for Fiji. He was the man to secure possession, and Nasoko, the captain, with a clear run in up the right-hand flank for yet another try for Fiji. 5 of them in total now, and looking very assured and confident in their first run out in Cape Town 2018.
Yeah, you can't help thinking that the conditions actually suit them. A big, strong, powerful side with lots of pace, using that physical ability well. Look at this, there comes the little step and go, the slight handoff. Too quick, too powerful, too strong for the French defense. And then in the corner, there's the captain. Last week it was 41 points to 0. This week it's already 31 points to 0 with a few minutes to go still. And Fiji to kick off where they've been so good.
Well, they may have finished in 5th place in Dubai, but they did score the most tries of that tournament, the Fijians. So certainly looking to tidy up their defence somewhat. The unforced error from France.
Yeah, Callum Randall on debut.
Yep.
And unfortunately, maybe should have left that one when he's got a bit more experience, when the ball's out in front, rather than risk the knock on. You might just let it go on the bounce to the next player, but unfortunately he's put his hands out and he's pulled it forward.
Inauspicious start to a 7-series career on debut. Randall, and first touch is one he will forget.
Yeah, it's not the easiest start, is it? Come on debut against Fiji when you're trailing by 31 points to 0.
Away to his right goes Jerry Tuwai, and just unable to accelerate through the gap, but Fiji are in yet again. Alosio Nanduva, who got 4 tries in Dubai, is now on the board in Cape Town, and a significant score for Fiji, because at the start of this game, I'll get to the stat in a moment, Joel, if you take us through the try.
Yeah, a little arcing run, and eventually the French defender sucked in. High tackle would have been called had it not been a try in the corner, but the little arcing run, just too quick for the defence to shift, get across, be patient, no space to rely on the touchline as another defender, and that's a brilliant conversion right from the side of the field. Well, look at this. There's the arcing run, has already sucked in all the defenders, and then around the outside on the arc, on the angle, secondary goes Nanduva. And Fiji are off to a flyer here in the beautiful city of Cape Town.
And the significance of that score, if I can come back to it, is they were 33 points shy of being just the second team after New Zealand to score 3,000 points in the South African leg of World Rugby Sevens. So congratulations, Fiji, through that milestone and continuing to look very comfortable. Just under 2 minutes to play and racking up the points in Pool C against France.
What was that? Sorry? 3 blue. 3 blue? 3? Where's 3?
Well, things are getting worse now for France. Is that a card that's been awarded?
Yeah, it's a yellow card.
Pierre Mignon is the man who's sent to the sin bin. So France will finish this game with just 6 on the field. Little shimmy to the inside, and then the dart to the outside from Jerry Tuwai, who gets his first try of this year's Cape Town Sevens. He's the top try scorer for Fiji in Cape Town, with 10 coming into this tournament, and on the board yet again.
Well, his 40th event, his 40th tournament, and we chat about the experience of this team. Look at this little stop and go, the acceleration, the pace. Too much for any defender, let alone an exposed one-on-one French defender on the outside. Conversion is off to the left and a little bit short, but this is a absolutely brilliant start from Fiji, laying down the markers and saying, you know, we may have only come 5th last week. We'll certainly be hoping to go further and longer and better here in Cape Town.
High 6. You went around the neck first. 6 wide.
So France, a man short,
Advantage there.
trying to gain some kind of consolation here in their opening game. It's a beautiful run from Mazzoleni. That pass going forward, advantage had been called over as well for a previous Fijian indiscretion, so still no joy for the French.
Well, he's got some gas as Mazzoleni. Thibaut Mazzoleni, some real pace. Maybe didn't back himself there, could maybe have had a little go. The Fijian defence at that point had shifted already because he'd slowed down. Went for that big inside ball to Callum Randall. Forward it went.
Same story, straight,
Their
please.
one chance to get a consolation try has gone a little bit awry.
Set.
Strong performance
Nine,
this
blue.
from Fiji. They'd want to wrap up with another one and get on up to that 50-point mark. Oh, let's go forward. That'll be... Well, France will have a chance. One last chance to get on the board here.
Yeah, lost forward by Fiji. Dedan Alangi was the man who lost it forward, and France trying to play with the scraps here. No path through for Marvin O'Connor. Another one in just his second tournament. He gets isolated in contact as well. What do Fiji do now? Do they want to play? So often you see that they want to bring an end to it and retain strong legs, but Jerry Tuwai only too happy to get on the board yet again. His second try of this second half takes his tally in all Cape Town Sevens tournaments to 12 and brings to a close an emphatic opening statement by the Fijians.
Yeah, great start for them. It was again one of the big fellas, Nabula, who made the little break too high. He's under the poles. The kick is good at 50 points to 0. It finishes. Great start for Fiji.